Welcome to Squad Tactics, strategic tips that will get you and your squad to the final circle. So you're playing squads, and you've got a group of total badasses. Between the four of you, you've got the experience, you've got the tools, and you've got the talent. There's no doubt in your mind that the chicken dinner is yours for the taking. Whoa, what was that? Okay, looks like a more organized squad took you out. Here's a brief look at how to better organize your squad into squad roles. No matter how badass you think your squad is, if you're not organized in some way, you won't get very far. Keep in mind you can organize your team however you want, but take a look at how this team is organized. The squad leader calls the shots and is typically the member with the most game knowledge. The squad leader should be great at spotting enemies and is very handy with weapons like ARs and DMRs. They'll typically scout enemy locations and identify the enemy's movement. They'll then figure out the best route of approach.
Hey, there's a squad looting in that house up ahead. Let's get a sniper in the back window and send the fragger to flank around left.
Finally, some action.
Which brings us to our next squad member, the sniper. Communication is also key for the sniper, as they relay all the information they gather about enemy numbers to their team.
2 of them on the first floor.
If the sniper is spotted,
I'm taking one out.
they need to be able to assassinate the spotter quickly and quietly. So a sniper rifle with a silencer should be their best friend. No squad is complete without the fragger, or point lead. They're usually the most skilled when it comes to combat. It's up to them to lead any aggressive push or flank into enemy territory. A good fragger can help you get out of sticky situations. They should also be able to communicate the status of enemy teams.
Got him. 3 more inside. Pushing in now.
Last, and definitely not least, you'll need a support. If you have a beginner in your squad, this is a good role for them, as it requires someone who can take direction well. It's good to designate this person as the driver, too. When things go south, you never want 2 people fighting over the driver's seat while the enemy is firing at you. In a breach scenario like this, the support role will follow close behind the squad leader or the fragger. After the push, the support role will loot enough health items and grenades to be able to distribute among teammates in need. And of course, should things go wrong and your squad leader or anyone else gets down, the support role is there to help get those players back on their feet.
I got you, man. Here comes Peels.
In the end, when it all goes perfectly according to plan, the squad works like this.
3, 2, 1, go. Frag out.
1 down.
Breach, breach, breach.
Back door clear.
All clear.
GG.
Easy peasy.
Not a chance.
It's always important to organize your squad. This is not the only way to organize, but it's at least an unofficial starting point and a good way to get you thinking more strategically about how you and your team play PUBG. Until next time, keep playing PUBG.
Welcome to Squad Tactics, strategic tips that will get you and your squad to the final circle. So, you're playing Erangel. You and the squad have dealt with team after team on the main island, and the circle is just set over on Mill Base. Time to buckle up and book it over to deal with the final few opponents. Looks like you're the first one to the bridge. Bridges can be the perfect place for dealing with enemy teams before you're on an even playing field. But setting up an effective choke point ambush is harder than it looks. Let's see how it's done. Creating obstacles is key in a bridge ambush. The more vehicles you have, the more roadblocks your enemy will have to deal with, so collect as many vehicles as your team can handle. There's more than one way to arrange your ambush. Let's try a staggered formation. This will make it harder for the enemy to navigate and keep them off balance. Knowing whether the element of surprise is on your side or not will greatly affect the way you set up your ambush. If you've been noticed, best to keep the enemy squad at a distance and deal with them from afar. Also, be careful not to get tunnel vision. Keep an eye out for teams that may already be behind you and avoid being ambushed yourself. Even though you have the bridge locked down, there's more than one way to cross the island. Keep an eye out for boats, but choose wisely if you want to engage, as you will lose the element of surprise Plus, let the whole map know where you are. Each squad mate should take on a different role. If you're close to the entrance, your job is to damage the enemy vehicle and steer them into the line of fire for your squad mate behind cover. The next teammate should be ready to roadblock the enemy if they get past all the decoys. And the last player is there to clean up the mess. If everything goes to plan, it should look just like this. Well done, team! That's one less squad to worry about. Remember, as important as it is to think about your ambush strategy, it's equally important to anticipate one from enemy teams. Keep an eye out, and until next time, keep playing PUBG. Welcome to Squad Tactics, strategic tips that will help you and your squad get to the final circle. You like to play hot and aggressive, we get it. Unfortunately, making sure everyone is together isn't exactly a cakewalk. So what happens when one of you gets left behind? Let's explore how to win with a man down. From this point on, every encounter will be an uphill battle. You'll be outnumbered, but you won't be outgunned. As a smaller squad, you have the advantage of mobility. Moving around the map will be easier, as fewer teammates will be slowing you down as they search for their prized Car 98. Stealth and decisiveness cannot be understated. Stealth allows you to be a ghost in the shadows and strike your enemies when they least expect it. Remember to count down your shots so you all shoot together, raining down a coordinated hailstorm of bullets. Also with 3 people, you can now fit the whole squad on an aqua rail. Kind of. And remember to be patient. Don't force an opportunity if you don't have to. If you wait, one may just gingerly present itself. If you're not able to attack with surprise, holding down a defensible compound or getting the high ground will give your squad the tactical advantage to make up for that missing man. No, Jim, that's not a defensible position. If you have a squad hot on your tail, try and recruit some help from a nearby team. Once they start to engage each other, slip out the back like you were never there. If you're playing with less than 3 players, then your team should have one objective: get to the final circle. Getting to the late game gives your 2-man squad a much higher chance of engaging teams just as battered as yours. And if you find yourself alone in a squad match, dust off those cowboy boots and giddy up!